Laura joins us as an Arsenal fan, and it's your first time on the show, so delighted to have you with us. I believe you're a big fan of the show.
Yeah, I'm usually obviously on that side of things, but it's nice to see what it feels like being this side of the camera.
Yeah, it was lovely. So, Laura, if you haven't seen it, put a nice post on social media about the show and how it works behind the scenes. So glad to give you the real rundown. But we've had a few Arsenal fans on, so I just wanted to ask you one question, not too difficult. If you're an Arsenal fan and you want to come on this show and you want to stay, okay.
God.
Can you remember the Tony Adams goal against Everton?
I mean, when I spoke to the producer about this, I said, I'm not coming on if you give me a quiz, because people take no prisoners. But yes, I do remember it, even though I wasn't born.
That'll do, Laura. You're in. Right. Arsenal, Wayne just said before, and I think most people here would agree, have been the best team in the league this season. Disappointing result, probably, the way it happened away at Sunderland. And watching the game yesterday and City's performance, are you worried as an Arsenal fan?
No, we're fine. Absolutely fine. No, I'm worried. But I don't think it changes anything. I don't think the result yesterday changes anything in terms of what Arsenal need to do to win the title. It's obviously very, very early days, and the lead is, I think, 4 points now? That's very slim. So the idea that Arsenal were going to run away with it is absolute madness. We know how good City are, but at the end of the day, I don't think it changes anything that Arsenal need to do. They need to basically hold City at bay, not worry about what City are doing, because I think that's a distraction. They just need to do what they do best, which is win continuously. I think the Sunderland result is unfortunate. I don't think the manner of the game concerns me that much. I think Arsenal were very good in the second half, but fair play to Sunderland. They absolutely came at us in the first half. Really disappointing how it ended. I threw my pillow at the TV. I was so angry. But, that's a kind of small margin. I think the way that Arsenal played in the second half, it shows what they're capable of, and we have lots of players to come back. So it's annoying, the timing of it, because we go into international break and the narrative sort of switches a little bit, but Arsenal just need to do what they've been doing for the past 10 games, and I think they'll be okay. But didn't love it yesterday.
Sorry, Lauren. Do you know when you were watching that game yesterday, I was thinking sort of going into the game as from with my Liverpool hat on, thinking, okay, if Liverpool could win, there'd be so many points behind. Would you have rather Liverpool or City won yesterday? I know you wanted a draw, but I was thinking from Arsenal's point of view, the City situation about them coming back twice before, would that be in the back of your mind because it's happened twice before? Because City are now a lot closer to you.
I think the manner of how dominant City were yesterday was the biggest concern. I think obviously we wanted a draw, then possibly a Liverpool win, but for City to basically steamroll Liverpool and essentially, throw down a bit of a gauntlet to say, we are here, we are back. Not that they've really been anywhere, but ultimately it was a bit of a nightmare, to be honest. And I think it will, just remind everyone that City are in a position that if Arsenal slip up, they're there to capitalise, which might not have been the case a couple of weeks ago, but now it's very much you slip up, they're there.
You said before, and I mentioned it before, there's so long to go, and you said you've just got to concentrate on your own job. How important is the atmosphere at the Emirates in March, April, May, if that situation with City or another team, Chelsea aren't a million miles away from you? I don't think Liverpool have got the chance of winning the league.
United as well.
Oh, United, there we go. We'll get to Adam in a bit. But how important is sort of Arsenal? And
It's a tricky one, because I think as we get closer to the end of the season, the nerves come in, and the Emirates can turn very quickly. Often, 20 minutes in, you often feel like Arsenal are on top. This has been the case for a couple of seasons, where there'll be a pass that goes astray, and you just feel it turn from, happiness. We're definitely going to win, to expectation. I think a lot has been made about the Emirates atmosphere over the past couple of years. Personally, I don't really buy it. I think it's just confirmation bias that everyone goes, it's quiet here, and everyone then goes, okay, yeah, it's quiet. I sit next to the press box, so I have the exact same view as some of the journalists. Some of it, I'm just like, that's not correct. Yes, I think it is a little bit more nervy this year, but that's just because we are expecting to win. And also a lot of atmosphere comes from the presence of jeopardy. I think a lot of teams come to the Emirates now and they don't get a sniff. And that's not because they're bad. It's just because Arsenal are so good, so in control. Does that make for a ferocious atmosphere? Maybe not. But I think the club are doing what they can to help. But I as I said, the Emirates can be quite touchy and it can turn quite quickly. So if it comes down to that sort of March, April, where it's getting very, very tight, I'm a little bit nervous about what that'll look like. But for me, the atmosphere at the Emirates is just, people love to talk about it. I go there every week. I've been to lots of grey grounds. I don't think it's that quieter than any other ground, really.
It depends how you play as well. And I think I used to find that at City as well, where if you're having, if you're passing and it's going from side to side a lot, and where naturally, if you have a team who get the ball out wide and put crosses in the box and the sustained attacks and it's aggressive, then that brings the fans up. That creates an atmosphere where if it's a bit slower, which Arsenal, I think, are at times where they're keeping possession, that's because teams are sat back, then that can bring a bit out of the atmosphere as well.
Luke, we always talk about Manchester City around atmosphere. Wayne's just mentioned it, but is the game's in April? The game's late, isn't it?
I think it's late, like 20th of April, something like that.
You've been there before, haven't you, when Arsenal have come late in the season?
Well, they didn't turn up last time. I think it was 3-0 after about half time or something. But yeah. See my tweet? Yeah. We stopped them going in. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Should have been made up. They could have had a full house for once.
I mean, I'm just glad City are winning and no one's talking about the on-field stuff anymore. I know we're winning when that's going on, but I think we went to Arsenal and got a point. Maybe we weren't in as much form back then, and I know they got a late equaliser, but I think they'll definitely be thinking back to a few seasons ago. I mean, they might try and actually win this time if they come and play us as well.
I think we forget as well, it's probably 10 games in.
Yeah.
It's a long way to go. And then I think it's when you start getting into January and then the league probably took its shape and you know which teams are going to finish roughly, then that's when I think it could be a bit nervous for Arsenal. Because
we have a lot of players to come back though. Like, obviously injuries being a kind of theme that we had last year, but we have Havertz, Odegaard, Madueke, Jesus if he ever plays for us again.
But that could cause problems as well.
100%. But I think
similar to Liverpool when you sign too many players and you've got players who were getting left on the bench who normally would be playing. That could cause problems as well in the dressing room. So I don't think it's always a good thing to have everyone. If you've got such a good squad, it's actually sometimes probably for the manager it's quite refreshing to have.
But I think the result of the weekend,
problems.
The 2-2 draw, for me, that just looked like a very tired team. Like that last sort of five minutes or so, for me, that wasn't one respect Sunderland for continuously putting the balls in the boxes and recognise that we're tired. But if we've got those subs on the bench, I'm sure we would have brought them on. That, for me, was just a tired team. And it's the international break is coming back. It's coming at the right time for Arsenal. So I think it will be a problem. But ultimately, the reason we've got that squad depth is for games like the Sunderland game, so that you can bring the players on. They can, ultimately get us over the line, which we couldn't do at the weekend.
Laura, I couldn't help but notice yesterday, even though it was City one, there's like, and you'll know this, there's this sort of feeling online that I think even like a few Liverpool fans and United fans wouldn't probably mind if it was City to win the league and maybe not Arsenal. Do you feel that yourself, or do Arsenal feel this, or is that like, is it us against the world where people are sort of
I want Arsenal to win it this year.
You want Arsenal to win?
Obviously, if United or Everton can. I'd prefer Arsenal than City or Liverpool. 100%.
I'm the same. Arsenal or Chelsea if it's not United.
So we do.
Because obviously Liverpool would be 21. You don't want that happen.
Yeah.
You don't want them to win the league anyway. City obviously it's a bit easier to take because it doesn't feel real sometimes. But you know what I mean. But at the same time, I'd rather Arsenal did it. It's only their fans on social media that you have to avoid. Once it's outside of that, I think it's better for football.
That's why we've got